right, everybody. Another chase evening here in the Storm Hunter. Potentially. We'll talk about that here shortly. I just want to make sure you guys can hear me, so and I'm going to look and see if I can answer comments and things here in the chat. We've got one chat box here that will potentially let me answer chat questions on Justin's page and my page. So just going to sit here and wait until I see one come in. Then we'll talk a little bit about tonight and maybe answer some questions while we get situated and set up. While we're doing this, let me go onto our page here. All looks good there. Looks like we got about 17 viewers right now. So we're going to get this viewership up just a little bit. Answer some TV station chat messages here. All right, so we've got a few of you here. Here's what we're doing right now. We're driving through town. We're going to the west side of town to kind of find a good vantage point to watch out west and kind of keep an eye on the clouds as they bubble up to help us determine where to set up. So we want to set up where the clouds really start getting agitated looking. They're going to start. You're going to see rising towers, things like that. That's the cloud moving up, being taller than the other parts of the cloud. So we're going to find where those cumulus clouds are just bubbling, where they're getting active. Are we expecting the cap to break? We got pretty warm today. What is our temperature right now? I think we needed. Yeah, Justin says we're at 85 in the truck. Is that what you got here? 86 right there. Yeah. So we're really close. So what helps the cap break is if the temperatures on the surface, get higher than the warm air that's aloft. And then that's what gets that rising motion, because as we all know, warm air rises. So that's what we're kind of looking at right now. Are we hot enough for the cap to break? We're close. We're really close. So we're not really going to know until we get some storms to fire off. So good question. Let me pull this up and see if we've got anything else. Are we expecting anything for Lawton? So Caitlin, the interesting thing about Lawton is I really think if anything fires up around here, it's going to be probably in a line from I'd probably say Apache down through Elgin, Lawton, maybe Frederick area. So, or it's really right there. So it can be either there or it can be a little bit farther east, maybe closer to 81. So I would kind of expect, look at a map and look where West Lawton is, and then go straight up and down on that, and then look at where Highway 81 is and follow that one up and down. And I kind of expect the storms to maybe build in that area. So if that's what happens, and if they could fire off farther west than that, but if that's what happens, if what I think is going to happen is happening, then I suspect what Lawton's going to get is not as intense as what, say, the eastern counties may get. So to make a long story short, they're going to start right around here. So they'll be a little bit more interesting as they move east, and we'll go from there. So right now there's not a whole lot on the road to look at. We're just driving down Cache Road. So
I was going to say, I hate to throw a wrench in your answer, but let's say we do get some activity firing up over Lawton, say between 8 and 9 o'clock, which is right around the time that low-level jet kicks in. Would that low-level jet kind of ramp up the activity?
Yeah, it could. But again, if we're firing up right over Lawton, the storms would have to fire and mature extremely fast. And the potential is there. You know, any storm that develops today could go severe pretty quickly. I will also add that the tornado threat for this area is considerably lower than what the tornado threat is, say, for northern Oklahoma, southern Kansas. So I would not bet that we're, don't just count on the fact that we're going to see a tornado this evening. Right? Now, it's not out of the question, but that's not the first part of what we're looking at today. The first part of what we're looking at today is wind and hail. Any more questions? I'm not seeing as much as we normally get question-wise, so I'm hoping this thing, it's working. It's got to be working. There's 4 questions on here.
Yeah, we're between everyone getting off of work and headed home. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I had to run to the house real quick and let the dogs out. Run back to the TV station. Luckily, there's no stoplights on the way to and from my house. And really, there's only one stop sign.
You bragging to me right now?
A little bit. It's pretty easy for me to get to and from work. Huh?
My commute varies between 15 and 20 minutes, depending on traffic and lights.
The only problem with living as close as I do, and with me being an engineer on top of that, is something goes wrong at the TV station. The phone rings. So right now what I'm looking at is there's actually a little bit of bubbling out here if you look out toward the 183 area. No, 283.
Yeah, 183
Snyder area. Yeah.
Ounces.
But we're not actually going to go all the way out there today because I think we're going to be able to stay in this area and just watch this stuff come to us, which is beneficial. Let's see, anything in the Surreal area? Surreal, yeah, you guys, I'm not going to say yes or no for sure, right? Because this is still very conditional for us down here. And what I mean by conditional is it all falls on the determination if the cap breaks or not. And the cap breaking meaning the warm air down here, does it get warm enough, hot enough to break through the warm layer above us so that the clouds can have that rising motion. So we're very conditional down here. It all depends on if we can get through that cap. The cumulus that we're looking at right now, they're not towering, they're just bubbling. So we don't really have anything here that we're going to say, oh yeah, it's going to break. But if it does break, right, Surreal area, sure, absolutely. So keep an eye on that, and when and if warnings start being issued, start knowing where they're at. That's one of the first things that everybody can do. And I know with Lawton being military town, there's people in and out all the time. One of the first things that I recommend is know where you're at and know what the counties are surrounding your county. So if you're in Comanche County, know that Tillman County is to the southwest, Cotton County is to the south, Stevens County is to the east, Grady, Caddo counties are to the north, Kiowa County northwest, Jackson County even, to the due west, so learn those counties surrounding you so that you can know what's going on when you see a warning come on. If you see a warning that comes for Tillman County moving northeast, then you know where it's going. So that'll help you out tremendously, and it really will calm down a lot of storm anxiety some people may experience as well. How's Duncan looking? You have a client at 7:30, not sure if you cancel or not. Marissa, I wouldn't cancel for this. Just be prepared to modify and cancel if need be, but there's no guarantee it's going to happen. Joshua Blake, storms are starting to try to fire now in some areas. So the Comanche County area really, from 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock is probably our bingo window there. Kai, Christopher, Cash, yeah, you're still in it, so when you look at the dry line, and let me see if I can pull this up for you because it'll make it a lot easier. And, well, we're in a newscast right now, so I don't know if I can do this without distracting them, because I don't want them to pull up our shot and then me just be on a dry line picture. Okay, so we are not, so here we go. If you look at this image, the stuff on the left, the red stuff, brown stuff, all that, that's dry air. Everything to the right of that is green. So if you are right of that line right here, then you are potentially in an area that can see severe weather this evening. That's your dry line. Out west, you're dry. You're not going to see rain, or you're not going to see storms. Out east of that, you potentially can see some storms. And yes, we're filling up the Storm Hunter with fuel right now. So we will leave it on this camera for just a little while we get some fuel, unless you guys just really want to see Cash Road. Probably looks better than me. Let me see if there's any other questions here. Bring it all to Temple. Stephen, I'll try. Kai, if you're in Cash, you're trying to come to Lawton to get some dinner real quick, you have an hour at least, I would say. So Cash is, heck, we're in West Lawton right now. We're essentially in East Cache, so sure, jump in there and get some dinner real quick. Joshua Blake, so I've been asked this a bunch from some people I know, even because we have an extra seat back here, and they all want to jump in here and go chase with us, but just imagine the liability insurance on that, right? So if you're not employed by KSWO, you're probably never riding in this truck. So we do the next best thing. The next best thing is we let you ride in the truck with the cameras. We have the roof cam here. We can spin it all the way around. And, you're going to see, actually, the stuff I was looking at earlier is already gone. So there's some bubbling right here, but that's nothing that I'm interested in. I was looking at some stuff, and I think it's back behind that awning right there. So you've got some stuff out there that looks like the 183, Highway 183 area. And those are what we're looking at. But again, super, super conditional on what we're doing tonight. Definitely one of those, we're going to get something or we're not. Justin and I could be taking the Storm Hunter out this evening just for an evening ride around southwest Oklahoma, and nothing even happens. So it's super, super conditional on whether or not we see anything tonight or not. this guy back to the radar here. Let's see if the loop is working on this radar. Man, Justin got out of the truck. He turned the truck off to put diesel in it. Keys off, can't even roll the window down. Getting hot in here. Feel it's not that hot yet, but still. Anna Marie, we've got a while. It may never happen, guys. I gotta clarify that a lot more. The storms might not even happen tonight. It's all conditional, and it all matters if the ingredients just happen to come together and break the cap. If it happens, likely time for Lawton is probably going to be between 7:30 8 o'clock would be my best guess. Again, very conditional. You know, we've gone out other storm chases where we just knew we were going to see storms. Whether they were good storms or not, we knew we were going to see something. This is one of the times, you know, you guys kind of get to see actual storm chasing a little bit. We used to joke 15 years ago when we were chasing, is when DVDs, of course, were still real popular in your laptop, and you get laptops with a DVD player in them. We'd go out chasing. We'd have a DVD with the movie Twister in it, so we could at least see a tornado that night.
That law goes into effect in July. Well, Lawton animal welfare officials are warning the community about a new scam aimed at potential pet owners. We have the details on the potential crime after this break.
Plus, President Trump is heating up his rhetoric concerning the ongoing situation in the Strait of Hormuz. The latest from the ongoing conflict with Iran later in the newscast.
All right, Allison or whoever's directing, we're in L2. We've got Unity up and running now.
Cool. Main weather, when we're going to take your shot, is still currently set for 621.
Okay, and that's just a beauty shot, right? So. No talking? Yeah, cool. I don't suspect we'll be talking about anything, at least until after about 7:30, even if stuff starts firing off. So we'll be here.
Right. Thank you.
Route 44 Dr. Pepper, light ice. Man, that sounds delicious. You got me for just a second too, by the way. Willie Nelson Jr. I almost got super excited. Thought the old redheaded stranger was talking to us. Oh, somebody commented his name is Willie Nelson Jr.
Oh. Oh, that's my brother-in-law.
Is it?
Yep.
Hey, that was your Gatorade I threw away yesterday.
Probably.
Sitting on the ladder in engineering.
Oh, maybe. When
Okay.
was it?
Yesterday.
Could have been mine.
Huh.
I was barely at the station yesterday. Anytime before that, I was out of work.
Yeah, he says he's your brother.
Yeah, it's my brother.
Well, then have him get you a Route 44 Dr. Pepper light ice.
I'll say, we'll see, Willie. All right, so
We got a little bit of bubbling here, but I think let me get this camera turned around now that we're on the road.
Well, a Lawton veteran
It's
has
still-
returned home after visiting Washington,
It's still way over there, but I mean, it's nothing.
Dr. Don Sullivan,
I'm still on the fence whether or not the cap's going to break.
says he had a wonderful experience visiting major war
well, we're out in
memorials,
case it does.
national monuments, and the changing of the guard at the tomb of
I feel like that
Soldiers,
matters.
alongside 66 other veterans in D.C.
No, absolutely. Now that I got some. Huh. That's cool.
What you got?
Well, I want to look at that a little bit later, but it looks like the dry line's backing up a little bit.
The Lawton Animal Welfare warns that scammers are targeting potential pet owners.
If it's doing that, then that's going to put Lawton
Lawton Animal Welfare said they've been made aware of social media accounts
in the sights if it pops off, because it would start firing off around
contacted by a scammer. There are a few things to keep in mind.
Indiahoma, maybe.
So if you do want to go further west, we could go to area like Lee and 115, and maybe push west from there. 'Cause that area is like high ground too.
Yeah.
I'll take you over to Deo. Go this way so we're facing the right direction.
Either that or we could stop over here in the parking lot at Chuck E. Cheese and still see that way.
Maybe. There's a big old mound
Yeah.
right there. Who's got the green? You got the green.
Monica, if you look at the top left of the screen, it will show you exactly where we're at. We are currently in Lawton. Looking for a place to just set up and wait and see if the storms happen.
Makeshift room outside the university's science complex, all to raise awareness of the struggles that some of our nation's heroes face every day.
Yeah, no, Monica, there's blue sky everywhere right now. So that's one of the things that we all look for when we're chasing. You know, a lot of times what happens if we get cloud cover earlier in the day, and it's gloomy, it's not going to get warm enough to really create enough energy for these severe weather events. The blue sky today is actually improving the chances for severe weather because we're allowing the surface temperatures to get warmer. And once those surface temperatures get warm enough to be warm enough to get through the cap, right? So the cap is just a warm air that's aloft, that's up higher than us. If that, storms need rising motion, warm air rises. But if our warm air is not hot enough to get through that warm layer, then we're not going to have storms. If our warm air is then hot enough or warm enough to be warmer than that warm layer that's above, then we can actually have storm development. So, the blue clear sky is actually better for storm development right now. Kathleen, I thought about it, but Justin's driving. I mentioned Chuck E. Cheese, and he kept on driving, so I think he's got something against the mouse.
I just have a better spot than mine. Because, Chuck E. Cheese, that would put us, right in front of trees, and there's a big old dirt pile right there. When we get up here to Dale, we'll be up on a bridge or near the bridge, so we'll be on higher ground. So you can see a bit further out, see more of the horizon and more of the sky without any obstruction. Try and get there before we come out of this break before weather. It sounds like you have a live coming up.
Yeah, it's 6:21, I think it is. It's not me. I'm not talking. It's just a beauty shot. Burgers over here. I've never had a burger yet.
They're okay.
Alright, let's see what I got here.
And weather, stand by for about to take a shot.
So, Barrett, do we have a chance of some semi-violent weather this weekend?
Yeah, well, we do have a chance. Now, they're going to be small chances, about a 10 to a 30% of times. The best chance will be on Saturday in the northeast areas, but we'll have to break down here what's going on out there right now and for the next few days. And we actually have a storm hunter out there, so we can take the storm hunter. There's a live shot at it.
We are on your shot.
Right here's just east of Cache, about 3 or 4 miles, and they're taking a look at the cumulus clouds, trying to build up across the area along and just west of, or just east of that dry line. And so overall, seeing some partly cloudy skies out there, still dry. We're still waiting on the initiation, but the initiation so far has been to our north, but it could zip this far south. I'll tell you what I'm talking about here. We can go back to the radar and notice some activity here.
Okay, we're clear on our shot.
All right, we're off your shot. Thank you.
No problem. We'll be here.
And we'll see if that continues to zip on further on to the south or not. But there's a chance our northeast areas can see a little bit of something. And so that's the reason why the tornado watch was extended down into Comanche County, Brady, and also Caddo counties as well. This right here is the position of the dry line. The radar's doing a pretty good job of picking that up.
Will, let me look and see if you guys are asking any questions while we're sitting here. I need to turn that volume down.
We'll see what happens from that, but maybe that turns into a little bit of something as well.
So we're just going to be sitting here for a little while. It really even looks like the cumulus clouds that I was looking at earlier are pretty much not there. So unless something changes, I'm still hesitant on whether or not this is happening. Yeah, you guys can probably hear Barrett through my cell phone over here. Let me look at the satellite. So just east of the dry line, it looks like there's some cumulus on the satellite here that wants to, east of Hobart, just right through Snyder down through Frederick. Let me show you guys here while we're right here is our dry line. You can really see it's pronounced on the radar because it's just dry versus moist air right there, creating a little boundary. But if you look on the satellite here, you'll see right in here there's some storm, not storms, but cumulus clouds trying to start right in this area. And if you zoom out, you can see the whole line of those cumulus clouds, and you see that kind of in line with all of them. So that's where initiation is looking at happening. Tom Steed area, east of Hobart area, most likely right down into the Frederick area, east of Vernon. I see potentially yeah, there we go. We got a cell going up southwest of Vernon there. So we'll see if that guy holds together. So Kathleen, this weekend, eastern counties, really, the last thing I looked at, I try to, especially on severe weather days, I really try to just kind of concentrate on the one day we're working on. Me not being a meteorologist and this not being my full-time job, I have to kind of pick and choose what I look at. But I will tell you that Saturday looks to be more active than today. Saturday looks to be, I don't want to hype it up and say, oh, it's the biggest event we've had this year, but it's definitely a day that we need to look at and pay attention to moving forward. While I've got some time, I'm not doing anything else but sitting here watching clouds disappear. So let me look at what we've got for Saturday here. So they've already got northeastern Oklahoma, and that's the other thing. Saturday looks, it's a Tulsa area event, so the Tulsa National Weather Service is going to be the one that's going to pay more attention to that. Our areas are still in a slight, some of them may be in an enhanced, but that's 3 days out, right? And to see an enhanced risk 3 days out is pretty impressive, but we've already had that this year. So we'll know a lot more about Saturday tomorrow. And I know it's not, the big thing with everybody is they want to know what's happening 10 days out, 14 days out. all television stations do it. Everybody does it. You know, they put a 7-day forecast, they put a 5-day, they put a 10-day, whatever. The reality is it changes from day to day. You don't really get a good picture of what's going to happen until you start getting, you know, within that 24-hour period. So imagine your scope, your broad, imagine, you know, your scope that you're looking at is like this. As the days get closer, you can refine that. You can narrow it down. That's really what's happening. So,
not right now. We're just watching clouds form for now. Yeah, it all depends. We're just
sorry, we got somebody pulled up
seeing
here.
how long this cap will hold. Yeah, take care. It's also going to turn into a what you do and drive through.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Hey, what you doing?
All right, let me check some of my. Yeah, so as we get closer, you know, to Oklahoma City area, that cap is eroding. So the farther north you go, I think the better chance you've definitely got for severe weather. There's already a severe thunderstorm up there northwest of Ponca City, near Ark City, Arkansas City. We call it Ark City when I lived up there. I used to live in Ponca City for a little while. Really nice part of the state, by the way. If any of y'all ever get a chance to hang out up Ponca City area, I really like that town.
Never been there.
Don't get me wrong, I like Lawton too. I was born and raised here. This is home. But as you can see with even the video that we're showing you guys right now, I mean, that's just blue sky. Wispy clouds. There's not even any cumulus clouds really to be seen anymore. So it's kind of a hurry up and wait. If you've ever sat around and watched paint dry, that's
what we're doing.
Kind of what we're doing.
The most boring part of the chase.
This is normally where we go to like Hutch's or something. And again, I'm still not sold that the cap's going to break. If anything, we're going to get a suntan ready for the lake weather.
least. I'm on the shady side.
Yeah. Yeah. The right side of my body is going to be all, my right arm's going to be all burnt.
My right arm's getting a little bit, even it out.
See, what's, let's go, I know where we can go. And it's decent location. You remember where we saw that nighttime tornado?
Oh, yeah.
Comanche County, Kiowa County line?
Yep.
Right there?
Yeah, we can run out there.
We can go run out there, then we're not like right here on this little main road where people are going home.
Yeah. It's fine until a truck comes by.
Well, I'm looking out there and we're far enough away that I can't really see through the haze that cumulus field that might be building out there.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yeah, we can run out there. No, that's on that. I'm not so sure about that. We're just kind of out here monitoring, see if any towers start going up. But when y'all get home, we're streaming on Facebook Live. No problem, y'all take care. Back up just so I can.
That's what we need to do. If you see us out and about, take a picture of our truck, post it on this chat, on the video feed. That'd be a fun one.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
I really
Take some
want
pictures.
I really want them to get us like,
Stand out in front of the truck, get your picture taken. You can do that too.
I'd like for them to.
And some of y'all know that I'm chief photog over at the station, but I'm also designated picture taker when it comes to group photos. It's not a bad deal. I don't mind taking good pictures of people.
I wish we had some like swag or something, like koozies or something that we could just like give out
I mean, we could.
when we're not busy, right? If there's thunder, lightning, things like that, don't come asking for a koozie.
I think we need a cardboard cutout of Matt Walker shooting finger guns.
No. Melissa Daughtry, nothing in Morica right now. Potentially later, all depending if the cap can break and we can get some severe weather to start firing off. Now, it's a really weird position that it puts us in because we want to see rain, thunder, hear thunder, see lightning. We want it. But we don't want it to damage anybody's property. We don't want it to put anybody in a dangerous situation. But we also don't want to be out here and nothing happens. Right? I could be at home working on my boat right now.
Yeah.
So a quick run through for those of you guys that are just joining us or want to just hear it again. What we're waiting on is it's conditional. It's if the cap can break, we might have severe weather. We might not. I can't tell anybody for sure. Yes, we're going to have it, or no, we're not. It all depends on if we got warm enough here on the surface to get that air to rise through the warm layer that's above us. So yeah, hopefully nothing happens, right? And we can all just say, all right, all that for nothing. But we still need the rain. And right now, the dry line is kind of close to the 183 area. So depends on if it can start developing and how fast it's going to move to the northeast and the overall structure of it moving to the east. Depends on if Lawton gets anything, depends on if anybody gets anything. Right now, nobody's getting anything right now. But that can change. Yeah. Jelly donut, huh? So about a month ago, I tore my boat all the way apart. I've got a pontoon boat, and it had a soft spot in the floor, so we've torn it all apart, all the way down to the aluminum rails and to the pontoons. Replaced all the wood decking, and now I'm putting new flooring down. And I'm in the process of reassembling everything, putting the seats back in, putting it all together. So close to being ready to take it to the lake. It'll probably, not this weekend, because we got severe weather chances, but I will probably have it ready to go to the lake by next week, which, really excited for that. See, that's what I wanted to come over here for. You can see it a little better. We're through the haze now, so we can see a little bit of the bubbling in the clouds. One of our guys back at the station is calling me a Debbie Downer. He thinks the cap's going to break. I'm not so sure. So our YouTube post worked. It looks like, and Brian can confirm this on our Teams chat, but it looks like we're now streaming not just on my page and your page, but we're also streaming on the KSWO YouTube page. Yep, he just confirmed it. We are also live on YouTube.
All right. So you can actually see kind of the line of cumulus here. There's a few more trying to bubble up over here, over the mountain range. And it's just if you look from the north all the way to the south, you can kind of see it. Now, they're not impressive yet. The most impressive one actually is directly under the sun, which is making it hard to view here on the camera. But it's the tallest cumulus clouds I've seen so far, so those will probably be the ones that we watch.
Kathleen, you ask, when meteorologists and chasers are posting future radar scans, are they reliable? Not at all. And I'll be the first to admit, even like on some apps, you'll see Futurecast and stuff. They're showing you what a computer thinks is going to happen if the storms continue doing what they're doing. As for the stuff that chasers and meteorologists post, they're really, if they're used the way that they're intended to tell you that potentially something can happen weather-wise, then they're fantastic, because they do show you that things, potentially could break the cap. If the cap breaks, for instance, we see on, like tonight, you see some storms firing off on some of those. Those are the models that we refer to called the HRR, the HRRR, Rapid Refresh model, right? There's a NAM model, North American model. There's a GFS and a few others. They're not detailed enough to tell you that, if you see a red blob show up on Lawton, it doesn't mean Lawton's getting that red blob. It doesn't mean anybody's getting a red blob. It means potentially a red blob could happen. So, imagine, well, I was trying to put that into a way, like, imagine you're making tacos, right? Tornado watch means you have all the tacos out, the ingredients out to make said tacos. A model radar future showing means that you decided earlier in the week that you're going to have tacos for dinner on Friday, but you haven't even gone to the grocery store yet. That's kind of where you're at. That was probably the goofiest analogy you've ever heard, but
Makes sense. So I kind of already know the answer to this question, but this is going to piggyback off that last question. So with everyone running future models and things like that, and running future radar scans, which we know comes from a computer that generates what it thinks is going to happen, where does everybody kind of get that from the same place? Whether it's like the National Weather Service, European models, how do meteorologists get all of that information?
well, you have services. There's some free services out there you can get it, so anybody can actually look at it. But if you don't know what you're looking at, then it's not going to help you much. But there's also some paid versions out there, and really, the only benefits to the paid versions over the free versions are you might get the models, they might show up a little faster. The graphical user interface, or the GUI on the website for you to access those models, might be a little smoother and easier to work with on the paid version than it is the free version. So it just really depends, but it's all still the same data. It's just whether you get that data earlier, get it later, or the graphical user interface that you use to access that data is easy to work with or not.
Yeah, so plainly speaking, we have access to the data. We take it and then we kind of crunch the numbers on our own.
Yeah.
To create our forecast.
Yep.
Or put together our forecast.
Right, because you have like your, some of the models have severe weather indices, things like that. They've got SIN values and you put all that together, because a model is still just a computer. It's just telling you what it thinks each layer is going to do. You have to determine, by looking at each one of those different products of that model, what you think it's going to do at that point. So meteorologists are still very much so meteorologists. They still have to know what these things mean, and when you put them together, what they do. The models will try to simulate a radar and simulate what's going to happen, but obviously none of them are 100% correct yet, because we still don't know what the weather's going to do from day to day. exactly. So, you still got to know that you need wind shear. You still need to know that you need certain temperatures. You need, cape. And a lot of people get cape and cap confused. Cap is the warm layer of air that's keeping you from being able to get that rising motion from your surface air. But then cape is the amount of energy that's in the atmosphere that can be used. It's like how much gas is in the fuel tank. But you still have to have a lifting mechanism.
Yes.
And you can have, regular lifting mechanism, just heat that doesn't do anything. That's a perfect little turnout right there.
Yeah,
I forgot about that turnout.
Not quite.
Yeah.
We'll come up a little further.
So, for instance, like tonight we have our lifting, and that's our lifting mechanism is the dry line. And then as the evening goes on tonight, as the cold front pushes through, that's also a lifting mechanism. It's and sometimes you get those from thunderstorms collapsing. They have outflow boundaries, things like that, and then you get lifting mechanisms from those, and you can have more storms fire off the outflow boundary behind the main storm system, even behind the dry line. And that's just because enough moisture and everything has pushed its way into the dry air. But those will generally be elevated, and they won't last long, and they're just showers with lightning and thunder.
Well, thank you, Matt. Appreciate that.
It is bright enough out here that my sunglasses aren't even working.
Yeah, it's time for you to get some new sunglasses.
This is when we're waiting for like clouds to cover up the sun, because it's just
Well, it was for a second.
brutal.
but that's not-
Let's see what Brian's saying over here. Oh wow, look at that. Near Medford. It's a multiple vortex tornado.
Where's Medford? Is that?
It's up there by Tulsa. It's east of Ponca City, I think. Let me just double check that to be sure. Yeah, it's up. It's not east of. It's not Tulsa. It's yeah, right there, Grant County, west of Ponca City. Deer Creek. That storm's going just north of Blackwell right now. So any of my friends I've got friends from up there, live in Blackwell and the Tonkawa area, even in the Newkirk area, which is where it's kind of heading. Pay attention to that storm up there, because it's got a multi-vortex tornado on it right now. No, Carolina, we are not in a Jeep with two gas cans on the top. We are in the Storm Hunter. Can't miss us.
It's got big bright yellow letters.
Got big bright yellow letters all over it.
Matt wishes we had a Jeep, though.
No, not a chance. I love Jeeps. I own a Jeep.
I like the Cherokees.
That's what I own, is an old Jeep Cherokee.
I'm jealous of too. But then isn't it a 3-door or a 2-door?
No, it's a 4-door.
4-door, okay.
5-door if you count the back hatch.
Yeah.
That little thing, it'd be cool if it was the 2-door version, but it's like driving a go-kart around town. But the air conditioner.
I'd like to have a Jeep Comanche.
Air conditioner doesn't work. On my Jeep Cherokee, air conditioner doesn't work. Carolina says that she passed us and was honking at us. I didn't hear you honk if you passed us.
I didn't hear it either. It might have been when we were back at Deo. I think
You
I
said
did
you
hear
just
honking
did it.
there.
But you got to take pictures and post them.
And honking doesn't count.
Honking doesn't count.
I'll say we're in the, like we said, we're in the boring phase right now. It's the sit and wait and see what happens. This is kind of like what my day is already like. Just listening to the scanner, sitting around waiting to see if something or nothing happens. And instead of doing that for 8 hours, I get to do it for 8+ hours.
Isn't that a road right there?
Yeah. Want to pull off on it?
Yeah, let's pull off. I'd rather not be right on the highway.
Yeah, that's fine. This little pothole thing's kind of sketching me out because it looks like it was from a depression in the road that kind of caved in. I want to sit right on it.
I got to get up, walk around before, and if we actually get some weather.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
I say we can just almost back in down there.
If I can do that, we got to sit right behind us.
Don't do that then. Just make a 12-point turn then. Or we can go all the way to the hill right there, whatever you want.
There's a turnoff up there.
Okay.
Yeah, 1640.
I just hate being right on the side of the highway if we don't need to be.
Yeah, it's not my favorite either.
See if Brian's calling me a Debbie Downer still. No.
I'm gonna sit right here.
Yeah, this is fine.
Side just a little bit. Watch out for stickers. I don't think. Nah, that's grasses.
Watch out for snakes.
Yeah. I found one last year.
2 years ago, you got out and
Jumped about 4 foot in the air.
we might be going to make a new video here to post on social media. So take that mic off for a minute. Justin, you want to do another video?
Yeah, we can do one.
Brian's.
I'm gonna give you some gravel, so you don't step all over the grass.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see anybody down this road. It's like Bob's Road. It's my favorite line of the whole movie, Twister.
Turn over there on Bob's Road. Alright, well.
It is windy out here.
That's for you. Just power button down there, just press it on. So you see flash.
have the graphics for it?
Yeah.
Oh, look at you.
Brian sent them to me.
Okay guys, I'm not wearing the mic. We're just kind of watching some stuff right now. We're doing some other production stuff in the background. So I didn't want to turn the mic off completely because then everybody says, oh, there's no sound, and then you guys think we broke something. We didn't break anything. We're keeping secrets. So it's not true. Caitlin, Rudy, you hopped off for a bit. Has anything changed for Lawton? No, I don't think anything's changed for anybody right now. We're still waiting on the cap to break. See if it does break. As we get later in the day here, the later we get, the less chance we have. Now, there is a chance when the cold front comes through later tonight that we get some showers and thunderstorms, but for the severe side that we're looking with the potential of, damaging hail and an isolated, not out of the question tornado risk, that's what we're out here right now for. But as of right now, we're not seeing the cap break. So that's where we stand. Anyway, we're going to go outside and do some more production stuff. I just wanted to give you that quick update before we did that, so I didn't leave you hanging. Alright, now everybody, I'm going to turn this mic off so you don't just hear us editing this video a bunch and a bunch and a bunch. we're having a fun little problem out here. It's so windy out here, the microphones are not playing nice. So we're going to try.
Observed tornado warning issued.
Oh. I need to turn that off. What do you mean can't record videos during? It's not a phone call.
Doesn't like Unity. Comes up weird download.
Audio check through the headset. Test 1, 2. Audio check through the headset.
Start that car. Sound okay?
No. It's not using this mic. Why is it not using this mic? It was when I tested it. All right, so we're still watching. Yeah, it got cold in here. Still watching this weather, potential weather, and it looks like we may have some areas just near the Frederick area that look like they were trying. So we've got a couple of questions. Let me answer some of them. How's Lawton? Lawton is still heads up. We don't know what's happening right now because we don't have any severe weather going on. We don't have any, heck, we probably don't even have any rain happening right now. So we're just waiting to see if it will start doing something. We've got potentially some cumulus clouds that look like they're starting to try to tower up a little bit. They're near the Frederick area, and if those do develop and produce thunderstorms, and if they hold together, then Lawton is in the line for that. But right now, I'm not really seeing that because it looks like they may have, been forced back down a little bit, and if that happens, then they're fighting the cap. But looking at the radar, no, we've got a storm that looks like it's holding together, coming into the southwest of the Davidson area right now. That guy's going to come up here through, and if it continues to hold together, then that one's probably going to make it to Lawton. But it's on the Red River right now, southwest of Davidson, quite a ways away. Let me give you guys a radar so you can see it. There's the radar right there, and it's already got a hail marker on it. And when I tell you that this thing came up quick, I'm going to go through the scans here. These are the scans. So this is where we were at 7 o'clock. 7:04, that's when we were out doing these little videos that we were just recording. And then right here is when we really kind of saw it visually. We're quite a ways away from it still. And then here we are now. So I've got to turn those off. Let me turn these sounds down. Disable sound. All right. So that thing looks like it's moving east northeast. The really, it says it's moving that direction. Let's look at the storm track here and see where it says it's going. Well, that's not working. This is a product that's still in development. But I think that's actually moving more northeast than it is east. So let me get this roof cam over here, point it over here, and that's that storm that we're looking at over there in the Davidson area, southwest of Davidson. What editing software are you using?
InShot.
Is that the one that comes on the phone?
No, it's pretty good actually.
Go with it. Really like
So, 4?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Deeper look.
So if this thing holds together, you're looking at Davidson here in the next 20 minutes or so. And that's that storm that's just southwest of Davidson right now on the Red River. And that might be the only show in town, because this stuff that we're looking at to our west is not doing a thing. So here shortly, once Justin gets finished doing his little editing here, we might dive south a little bit. Probably head down to the Frederick area and then go east on Highway 5 there, out of Frederick. The good news is the sun finally got covered up, so I can take my sunglasses off. Let's see what National Weather Service is saying, if anything. Man, they've still got that tornado up north. And it's moving slow. And that's, now again, that's way up north. That's K County area, north of Ponca City. Oh, looky there. Brian helped me out. This is what we got right there. Anybody wants to know that storm that's south of Davidson there, there's kind of our timeline, what we're looking at. So, Caitlin, Rudy, this one storm doesn't mean necessarily it broke, because the storm looks like it's not really intensifying a whole lot as of right now. So you can still have storms with the cap holding in place. The cap just continues to keep them from becoming, you know, intense. The tornado that David Gonzalez is mentioning, and the one that I talked about just a second ago, that's up northern Oklahoma, almost Kansas, north of Ponca City, Oklahoma. And the cap is expected to break up there all the way down into the Oklahoma City area. That works. No, leave it like that. Leave it like that.
Oh, based on what I'm hearing, I'm just saying.
Oh,
just
okay.
like that. So I can keep it up a little bit longer.
We're gonna have to come up with a way to make that a little quicker, though. We'll have to come up with a way to do that little, like, figure out how we can make that quicker.
Yeah, it's tricky because I had to
Like,
edit the other.
find a way we can just drop a template on it, you know, or maybe not in the future, not add cover video, but we won't need to now that we know how to do the microphone. What'd you call that app?
In shot.
No, Caitlin, the later it gets, actually, if the cap holds, the later it gets, you have less heating, so you have actually less chance of breaking the cap, unless the cap erodes. There doesn't always have to be a cap. There's so many different layers to weather, right? So we happen to have a cap today. A cap is what helps build up the instability. As the cap does erode, the chances for weather can happen. But as the day goes on, the heating goes away too. So it's kind of a give and take thing. What we do have sometimes, and might come into play tonight, is a low-level jet. It's like a jet stream, but it's down here lower to the surface that comes in normally in the evening, that would increase like surface shear, things like that. Not surface shear, but shear just above the surface. And you get a little bit there, but we're not really worried about that as much tonight. You know, again, the tornado threat is going to be more north, more into the, you know, Oklahoma, Kansas area. Okay, everybody, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to that storm toward Davidson, because it looks like these cumulus clouds around here are dying out. And there's potentially, that's probably wind farms back there. I need to look at that. Yeah, that's the wind farm there. But those right there, come on, return to life. Let me refresh this radio. that thing's going right over the Frederick radar, and that's, if that holds together, everybody, that's going to get Lawton wet. Let me put this headset back on in case they need to talk to me at the station. Now this storm that's popped up down there, it is not severe at this time. Let me see what you guys are saying on.
I'll just send it to you.
Got it.
Now, what I want you to do, when you go to post it,
Tag you.
nope, you can add captions to it. 4:23:26 current time.
How do I add captions?
I'll show you once I pull it up.
Like add it on the video?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm being, like through Facebook?
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna walk you right through it.
I feel like I'm being taught something for the first time ever.
Okay. Let's see real quick. 1, 2. Yep. So what I did,
Mm-hmm.
pencil right there, that text. So we're gonna do yeah, just put. We'll just put. There, you just hit next.
Ooh.
And then you post it.
I got tired of hearing myself.
Very good. Oh, sorry, I was here. Yeah. All right, where'd you want to go again?
Frederick.
Frederick. Here we go.
Actually, we don't want to go to Frederick now because we're not going to get there in time. We still want to go south. We get to Manitou. Yeah. If that's even the best route at this point.
It's gonna have to be.
It looks like I'm going to want to get to Chattanooga, is where I'm going to get. So, those folks in Hollister in Tillman County, and it's probably going to be south of you there, Frederick, but those folks in Chattanooga, Faxon area, Geronimo, Lawton, you guys all have this storm that's headed that way. Now, it's not a severe storm at this point. It's just a thunderstorm. But in the conditions, it can go severe fairly quick. But right now, it looks like the battle between the cap and the thunderstorm is happening, and the thunderstorm might be losing the battle. Let me get this camera pointed that way. I think that was your sunglasses, Justin.
Sure was.
Let's see what National Weather Service is saying, if anything. They are not even talking about this guy down here. And that's expected. They've got a real storm, you know, happening up north. You're clear. It's a weird little turn here. it might be faster just to go all the way down to Frederick and hit 5 and just go in behind it. Because we're going to go east out of Manitou, and if I remember correctly, that's a dirt road a lot of the way.
Should be all paved now, but we can still run down to Frederick.
If you think it's paved, we'll go that way.
I haven't been there in a while. We'll hold off on that. We'll make more progress if we continue south at this rate.
Yeah. Brian, nothing's happening around Snyder right now. Honestly, it looks like, and I can't say this for certain yet because I'd hate to say something and then something happen, but it looks like it might not. I'm not seeing any other cumulus clouds building up. So far, it looks like the storm down there in the Hollister area is the only storm in the Frederick Hollister area. Looking at some other stuff here. Let me give you guys that storm real quick. This is the storm. It's really close to the radar right now, so it's going to look a little weird. We're moving now. Let me see where we're at. Well, I think that direction's off a little bit. It's moving northeast, coming from the southwest. I guess at 45 miles an hour, so it's moving pretty quick. We might actually not be able to catch it, but we'll see.
Let's see, we might have to chat and see if they know if that road between Manitou and 115 is paved all the way through.
Yeah, do we have anybody from down in this area? It's Baseline Road from Manitou over to
36.
Highway. Well, it's not. We're trying to go to just north of Chattanooga there. If that's paved or not. I think we'll just see.
It's also the same road where I hit my death ball.
In this?
No, on Baseline.
No. Well, this storm looks like it's wanting to bust through that cap right there, so it looks like it wants to try to intensify. This might end up being the show for the night right here. if let's just go to Frederick, try to get over there, stay on a faster road. That's a pretty cool looking cloud though.
See it pushing through that warm air.
But it looks like the farther away it's getting from the radar, it's weakening right now, so we shall see. It's pretty close to all but falling apart now. Yeah, if it continues on this track, the rainfall, I'm not even going to call it a storm anymore. The rainfall will make it to Lawton, south side of Lawton, if it holds together. have a raindrop on the windshield, y'all. A couple of them. So those of you in the Chattanooga area, you're going to see some rain here shortly, maybe a little bit of thunder, lightning occasionally. The storm is not severe. It's just a thunderstorm. It really looks like the cap is winning out on this battle. We can have rain, we can have a thunderstorm, but it's not really amounting to much. Yeah, and the National Weather Service, they're not even talking about this stuff down here. It's not even, you guys are going to go outside. Some of you will go outside and you'll see some storms. You might see some lightning. You might hear some thunder. This storm that's moving into the Chattanooga area right now is really barely a storm. So just know it's not severe. You're going to hear some lightning or hear some thunder, maybe see some lightning, maybe have some gusty winds, but it's not even at this point considered a severe thunderstorm. So this is currently a storm we wouldn't normally talk about, but the fact that it's the only one down here, that's why we're even on it. We're talking about it.
Or want to catch up to. But Matt said I couldn't catch it. No.
Yeah. Challenge accepted.
Yeah. We don't catch it.
Somebody asked, is Lawton going to be bad tonight? Unless something changes drastically pretty soon, I don't think anybody's going to be bad tonight for us. We're kind of outside of that window, or moving outside of that window. So this one storm that we're on, unless it takes off and starts really getting after it.
Because now we're between 8 and 9 o'clock, so this will be right around the time that jet kicks in.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens when that happens.
We got a guy at the office at the station that's also looking at radar and talking to me back and forth. He mentioned something. I'm gonna pull it up right now because I think he's right on what it is. Right there. See that west of Mangum? Your dry line's right here. So that's west of the dry line. But here's an interesting thing. On the latest runs, it's not moving, it's stationary. I think that's the bats in the cave. So we can catch the bats, especially when the radar is in high sensitivity mode, it's kind of like it would be tonight. You can catch the bats going in and out of the caves when they, well, I mean, they've got their stuff out here too. But I know where you're talking about. But I think it's something. Could be there's migratory birds right now too, but it's not moving. So I don't suspect that's a storm. storm that's over here by Chattanooga, north of Chattanooga, coming up to the Faxon area, looks to be increasing a little bit. So it actually has a little bit of a hail marker on it now. Potential hail of half-inch hail. So it's worth keeping an eye on. We're coming in behind it now. That's why some of the structures being blocked by these other, clouds that are between us and the storm. When we were a little further away from it, you could really see the structure. And it looks like National Weather Service just issued a severe thunderstorm warning for that storm. Let me get the latest data on that when it pops in here. There it is. At 8:09, a severe thunderstorm was located near Faxon, moving northeast at 40. Hazards of this storm include 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and quarter-sized hail. 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and quarter-sized hail is basically the minimum criteria for a severe thunderstorm warning. So just know that it is a severe thunderstorm warning, but it's barely a severe thunderstorm warning. That doesn't mean we take it any less serious, right? Because hail damage to vehicles is expected, and you can have wind damage with that. And just because it says 60-mile-an-hour wind gust doesn't mean you can't have an isolated, gust higher than that. So again, that's the storm that we're coming up on right now. We're going to get in behind it and get on 36 and ride up with it all the way to the Lawton area. So a lot of you folks are probably just jumping on from Lawton because your phones have just gone off and said severe thunderstorm warning. So here's where we are. This is severe thunderstorm warning. You're going to see the polygon there, which takes it out toward the Lawton area. Let's look here. This is that's ETA for that. Let me move that out of the way because it's probably being covered up by a bug. So Chattanooga, basically now. Faxon 8:17, Lawton 8:38, Central High area 8:59, Sterling 9 p.m., Marlow 9:10. Assuming the storm stays together that entire time. Rudy, yes, that storm that's headed up toward Lawton a little bit is starting to intensify a bit. That's why National Weather Service has put a severe thunderstorm warning on it. 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and quarter-sized hail are the main threats for this storm. But it is intensifying, and this one looks like it's going to hold together at this point. So we're going to get on this one and try to stay with it. We're finally starting to get some lightning on it. Those of you that have hung out with us for a while know that we're looking for lightning, right? As lightning gets more intense, more repetitive, lightning is a good indicator for a storm strengthening or decreasing. Right now I've seen 1 or 2 lightning bolts, so it's not intense yet. looking at just wind. Hail size is coming up a little bit since the last scan. I really want to see the next scan to see what it looks like. About 3 scans really tells you what's going on.
How fast is this moving?
40.
40.
Moving 40 miles an hour to the northeast.
Made up some ground on it.
Do what?
Cover some good ground on it. Gained
Oh,
some
yeah.
good ground on it. Okay, a little bit more here. Might lose a bit as we go through chatting. Let's see about that.
Let's see if National Weather Service is saying anything about it yet. No, they've got another tornado up in the Enid area right now that they're a little preoccupied with. Understandably so. Let me get that camera turned back over here. Hail size has jumped up almost a half an inch larger, so now it's looking at potentially 1.5 inch hail at the core of this. The core looks to be just north of Highway 36 by a couple of miles, right there at the curve. So really about 3 or 4 miles north of Faxon, northeast of Faxon. Pull this up here. See if I can get this radar to refresh. There we go. There's the latest radar on this right now, and you can see right there. That off there.
You see a rain curtain, but it's really not all that. It's wrong.
I need to get my phone ready for Unity because they're probably going to want to try to talk to me. Alright guys, I'm on Unity again. Yeah, you can see a little bit of some rain curtains, which is nice. See if any of you all have said anything. Yeah, so folks in Lawton, sure, you guys probably need to be prepared for this thing. Again, it's 60-mile-an-hour wind gust and quarter-size hail, but you guys in Lawton, if you have room in your garage, park your car in the garage. You got time to go out there and move the car into the garage.
I don't.
I don't either. But it looks like the heaviest part of this storm is going to go right through the south side and east side of Lawton. Unless it grows up a little bit, it looks like the far west sides and the northwest side should be okay. So again, for those of you that are just joining us, I think, yeah, with that severe thunderstorm warning coming on, there's probably a few of you that are joining in now. Here's the ETA. Let me get this out of the way so you can see it. ETA, Lawton 8:38, Central High 9 o'clock, Sterling 9 o'clock, Rush Springs 9:19, if it stays on the same path and trajectory. That's what we're looking at right now with this storm. It's 60-mile-an-hour wind gust with quarter-sized hail being the main threats of this storm. 60-mile-an-hour wind gust, your trash cans will be misplaced. And hold on, what?
Can't speed.
So, trash cans will be misplaced. You can have some hail damage on your vehicles, so get those parked. And again, you've got some time. You've got a few minutes left. Far south sides of Lawton, even the far southwest sides, you probably only have about 2 or 3 minutes. But you're about there. So the worst part of this storm is going to enter the southwest sides of Lawton momentarily, and probably over into the airport area. It'll be the center of the storm. I'll give you a quick glance real quick here. This is your storm. This is Lawton area right here. This little line here showing you the direction of the storm, and it's moving to the northeast. We can click this here, kind of see an ETA of what's happening, where it's going. There's your ETA, Lawton. It's basically getting right on top of you.
That's another. Yeah, that is.
So we are just now going through Faxon. And we're going to follow this thing back up through Lawton. It looks like Barrett is currently streaming on the KSWO Facebook page if you guys want to see what he's got. That was either a rock or hail. I think it was a rock.
Yeah.
It sounded awfully hard to be hail. largest part of the hail does look like it's about to be entering Lawton. If anybody's watching in the south side of Lawton, let us know if you're seeing any hail or anything yet. Look here. It actually looks like it's kind of decreased just a hair in intensity right before it's getting into Lawton here, which is good news. Yeah, the intensity's dropped quite a bit on it too. It's good. A lot of people might not be getting any hail now. It might just be heavy rain. Yeah. Jessica White says they've got rain on the southwest side of town. It looks like that's really what it's going to be right now. It's
heavy rain.
Yeah, it's dropped a lot. It was intense there. It looked like it looked like it was about to get busy for a little bit, and then it just kind of, which is good. You know, you don't want all that hail over Lawton.
Kept eyes on it from when we spotted it with our own eyes from Snyder, or from Indiana, pretty much.
Top of it, yeah.
Well, I'm asking now, you want to go left or straight?
Well, oh, do I want to go straight here to 11th Street?
Or left on 82nd?
I don't want to go on 82nd.
Alright, keep going straight.
Yeah.
Because technically I caught up to this storm.
Yeah, I mean, kind of.
I caught up to it. I'm pushing green right now.
Radar hasn't updated yet. I say we get on I-44 and drive right through it and get in front of it on Highway 7.
We could drive through it on Railroad. Because it's open. Or not Railroad, 11th Street. 11th Street's open now. Because I don't want to go through all that road work they're doing between Mall Market 30 and
Aren't they only doing it on the other side right now?
both sides.
I haven't seen any lightning either since that last one we saw. NWS isn't really talking about it at all. They just issued a tornado emergency for Enid. Tornado emergency, and also for catastrophic hail. God, man. Rotation up there is heading toward Enid Regional Airport. And they just trimmed this warning back. They're continuing the severe thunderstorm warning into Comanche and now extending it over to Stevens County. But they're taking Tillman County out of it. So they're just basically trimming it back on this storm. I-44 in Lee area is probably the most intense part of this storm right now. Highway 7 and Lee, or Highway 7 and I-44. The people up there at the 82nd Street Shopping Center, what's everybody talking about? There's no rain.
Just outside of the rain.
Trout says it's hailing in Lawton. Whereabouts in Lawton? How big is the hail? And don't go out there. If you have to go out there, don't go out there. Just,
I don't want you to get pelted.
Yeah, I don't want you to get knocked in the head with a piece of hail.
Still trying to keep up the pace with it. We're getting into some construction. People have started slowing down. Just going to see where they go.
And then go the opposite way.
Fingers crossed. Just hoping they take 44. Because if they do...
I mean, I think 44 is still faster, even with the construction.
Nope. So I guarantee you, if any one of these two vehicles in front of us turns left to go eastbound on 44, I'm passing them whenever we get to 44 from 11th Street. That's if they go that way.
Hail on the east side, yeah, I believe it. Probably by looking at it, maybe dime-sized at the largest, pea-sized to dime-sized hail. Heaviest part of this storm looks now to be over, probably getting ready to go over right now over where Cracker Barrel is, I-44 and Gore. Maybe even as far back as the 2nd Street Shopping Center. Alright guys, I gotta say it, don't park under the overpasses. That was a really good bolt of hail, or lightning. So when you hide under the overpasses for hail, you block the road for people that really need to get through. And studies have shown that overpasses are actually, if the storm's tornadic, one of the most dangerous places you can go because you create a wind tunnel inside there. worst part of the storm now. Looks like it's over that Flower Mound and Cache Road. So in the East Lake Edition, in that area, it looks like the most intense part of the storm. If you're west of I-44, you're pretty much over. The storm's already out.
Semi back there.
Now he's about a mile up there.
No, we didn't. That was 3 cars.
It looks like Lawton. You might be far east side, 60th Street, southeast 60th, or northeast 60th actually. Probably has some rain, but pretty much this thing's outside of Lawton now. So next up on deck for this thing, you're looking at, it's going to miss Elgin. Let's see what we got. It might get a little bit in Sterling, but next up's going to be Central High and then Rush Springs area. Marlow, it looks like it's going to go north of you. And honestly, I don't know if they're going to rewarn this when the warning expires. I'm interested in that. again, we're not seeing hardly any lightning with this storm. Is there anybody in Unity? I feel like this thing's picked up speed, or we've slowed down or something.
Yeah, between traffic and stoplights, we've lost a lot of progress since getting to Chattanooga.
It shows it's still moving at 45.
Yeah, but we're lucky enough to have stayed as close as we did with
Oh, yeah.
with traffic. My mic batteries are dying, so I'm gonna cut it off. But, what do you want to do? Run to 81?
We'll figure that out. Closer we get to 65.
Be there.
But yeah, probably, because that's going to be the fastest way to get up there.
81?
Yeah.
I don't like 17 at night.
I don't like it during the day. latest scan came in, it looks like it's weakened considerably again. You're in Temple trying to get back to Duncan. I think you're probably okay for that. I don't think anything else is building. So from Temple to Duncan looks pretty clear. Said that tornado in Enid is almost stationary at this point.
That is crazy. Well, it's like that anti-cyclone one we had in that big one out in the middle of the field a couple years ago.
Yeah.
There it is. There.
Alright, you folks in Rush Springs, you're on deck. It's probably going to make it right on you guys. Sterling, just your far south side of Sterling, in the rural areas, about a mile south, you're probably getting some rain and thunder and maybe some small hail. This thing's moving to the northeast at 45 miles an hour. Emily, Sterling looks like they're going to miss the most of it. It's going to stay south of Sterling. If you were to look at this on the map, the reality is this thing's going to be south of Sterling, moving directly toward Rush Springs. It doesn't look like there's anything else in the way. It's going to be rural areas from where it's at all the way to Rush Springs. While we're trying to get in place, anybody have any questions? So once this thing gets past Rush Springs, it kind of gets out of our viewing area. So we'll probably be turning out and heading back into Lawton, unless we get to Rush Springs and this thing gets serious. We'll stay with it a little longer. But right now, once it gets past the Rush Springs area, I think we're pretty much going to pass it over to the Oklahoma City stations. We're not seeing a lot of lightning. Occasionally we get some lightning and
A couple good strikes here and there.
yeah, but I mean at night like this we should see a lot.
Yeah. This storm here heading to Rush Springs, really it's died down even more now that it's north of Central High. If it continues on this, it's just going to be showers on the way to Rush Springs.
see what this does over the next scan or two, and then go from there. But it's still decreasing. So Brian at the station is saying that tornado in Enid went right over Vance Air Force Base. Rush Springs, you guys. I don't believe that 11 minutes away for Rush Springs. It's going from the point of this dot, and that really needs to be out here at the leading edge of the storm. So I would take a little bit of time off that. I'd probably say about 9:05 or so for Rush Springs. Alec, you're probably looking at about 9:20. Bradley, you're looking at 9:25-ish. Dibble, 9:35. And then I think that's Kreiner, Washington, and Purcell after that, but those are way out of our viewing area. They have not reissued that severe thunderstorm warning, so we're just chasing a thunderstorm at this point. Yeah, we're probably going to know whether we stay on this one about the time we get through Marlow. but it's
Oh yeah, that's shrunk a lot.
it shrunk a lot. Good news. I mean, we had some ingredients down here. We talked about it all night, even before we went out chasing. We mentioned it when we were on the roof of the television station looking at this stuff, how conditional it is. And honestly, I think the cap won out on this one tonight. There is a new cell that's developed just to the west of it. But it's already in the worked over environment. But you're gonna see it's right there. Central High 924, Rush Springs 950 on that one. It's again already worked over, but we're gonna keep an eye on that one too. But that just means we'll stay here and let it come to us. And it's building. So what I'm going to do okay. Yeah, so this is super interesting that you guys might find interesting. And you can't see it now because there's a lot of lights from Marlow right there, but you see all that flashing? We can see it on the camera, but you can't see it necessarily with the naked eye because we're looking at infrared right now. Those flashes are from the storms in northern Oklahoma that you're seeing. If you look at how distant they look, we're 10 miles away from this storm that we're on right now. Those look considerably more distant than that. And they are flashing like crazy up there.
Where do you want to set up at? Let this pass over us?
Probably the north side of Marlow. Might have to stop at Taco Mile on the way home. But I think they close super early, so I don't
know. Houston's got a decent parking lot.
keep an eye on that storm that's out west and see if it actually does anything from scan to scan. It is intensifying west of Central High. Wouldn't you know it? It's actually more intense than the one that we're south of. So here's the radar for you folks that are still with us. There's the Central High storm right there. The Rush Springs storm is still there, and it's still got probably some pea-sized hail in it. But this one that's coming up from the Central High area, that's really going the exact same path that this storm that we're on is going. It looks to be Central High at 9:20, Marlow 9:34, Cox City 10 o'clock. If it holds together. And I still think it's going to go north of Marlow, but those ETAs fan out.
How far north do I go?
Just where we can get out of the
City lights.
and the trees. It does clear up a little bit when we get
Yeah.
north of town. Hey, there's always a Sonic.
Well, you'll be able to see a little bit better than me outside the truck. But once you see it starting to clear, let me know. We'll walk outside. Right?
Yeah. I mean, it's cleared up there. So if you find a,
Anything like right around here?
yeah. I mean, there's still trees. We're in Highway 81. Yeah.
Ballpark Road.
There's actually some lightning in this storm coming from the south or from the west over here. It's just north of Highway 65 and Highway 7. And if you find any place to pull over here, it's good enough. Didn't see it. There's a turnoff right there. It might have been a driveway. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a driveway.
That looked like a building or something though. Like a.
It's for sale.
There's a driveway into it right there.
That's definitely someone's house.
You think so?
There's a house right there.
Oh, well. Good. We could just hang out right here.
You still see us and know what's up?
While we're here, I'm gonna look at the latest weather models to see if let's see y'all. Can you turn your headlights off?
Put these strobes on though at least. Bummer, I can't dim that.
Turn your parking lights on. That might. So the her picked up on these all day, but then they fade out and go away. And then the cold front comes through late tonight, early morning. But that looks to be more an eastern Oklahoma problem than ours. Show you guys what we're kind of looking at here so you see it. Two storms. Rush Spring storm is headed out of the viewing area on its way to Purcell. And the one that is to the southwest looks like it's going to pass directly north of us, in between us and Rush Springs. So there's kind of our ETA on that. If it does get there, about 9:30 to 9:40 for Rush Springs. So we're looking about 20 minutes before it even gets to 20 minutes before it gets to Highway 81 here. If it holds together.
Right after it finished. Wish I could change it in 30 seconds. So I need some rain.
Oh, look at that. I'm able to look through the Facebook messages here, and Alexia sent some hail. Looked like it was probably nickels pushing quarter size there, and I assume that's in Lawton. I'm looking at another picture here, and I feel like that's over on the east side by looking at this video over there by Sonic on East Gore. This storm's still intensifying a little bit, but it's not really growing. It's just kind of doing its thing here. Yellow, I don't think you're going to see anything in Lawton. I think right now I would call Lawton in the clear for severe weather. Cautiously say that, right? And I say cautiously because the dry line hasn't moved through. You're still in the moist, warmer air. But it looks like the cap really is holding for us down here. This one storm, you can have a storm and the cap holds. They battle it out, and that's really what looks like what's happened here. You know, I don't. Good analogy. You know, we've been doing analogies all night. Would be a leaky boat. You've been paling the water out, and you finally got the leak fixed, but the boat almost sank, but it didn't sink. Sure, that's kind of how it was, I guess. The cap almost broke, but it didn't quite break. It just sprung a leak. I got to come up with better analogies. We can hear some thunder. Lightning's died down on this one again.
There is hail. If it holds up, it's going to go over us.
What do you say about that?
It's going to pass us to the north.
It's going to go past us to the north. Just slightly. We're going to get some rain here. They just can't do it tonight, which is good. While we're sitting here, I'm going to look at tomorrow night, though. Tomorrow's clear. Saturday looks pretty interesting, about 4 o'clock south of Tulsa, near the Okmulgee area. You know, if I get finished working on my truck soon enough, Saturday, I might have to go to northeastern Oklahoma.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Again, there's not much for you to look at right here, so I'm going to pull this radar up so you can see what we're just kind of waiting on. And you see there's no polygon around it. There's nothing about it that says, hey, this is a strong, you know, it's going to be a strong thunderstorm, surely, but not severe. And we're going to hang out here until it gets past us, and then we're probably going home, because there's really nothing for us to go after right now. We are starting to get a little bit of rain. Yeah, these things are just storms. We're going to call this an evening, and we're going to put this truck in the barn. It's here. There's really no lightning, barely even any rain. It's going to go just south of you folks in Rush Springs, and north of y'all in Marlow. So after that, we're done.